Alright, Shalom. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim out here enduring this truth with sincerity. Alright, and blessings to the elect and the hopeful elect as well. Okay, we're going to get into a lesson, man. It's not necessarily versatile, but it's pretty much over Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, because you have a problem with people talking about it's 5 forms of Hebrew. The name doesn't matter. You don't have to have faith. And on top of that, you got a bunch of people just coming up with all types of doctrine. As we done heard, I believe Sakari out there talking about the serpent, the serpent in the Garden of Eden with some Hamites, Canaanites, It's just like we get into these end times, you got people playing around, all right? And that, like, if you read during the time with all them books that Paul wrote, that's what you had going on. You had people playing around. That's why those times can relate so much to this time. And at the same exact time, you had people what? They was steering people away from the faith, and they was telling them not to teach in that name, man. Okay? And on top of that, they was saying to hell with the Gentile, the Israelite foreigners, all right? So we just gonna get into get into some scriptures over the. I like how the brother said it earlier, the magnitude of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So we gonna start with Joshua 2:8.
I got a precept to the midst of that. Psalms chapter 119 verse 57. It says 55. It says, I have remembered thy name, O Lord, in the night, and have kept thy law.
Right off the rip, I have remembered thy name in the night and have kept thy law. So the law is important because that consists with that faith, man. Okay, you can't have one without the other. And it said the name. As many times as you can see the word name in the scriptures, why wouldn't the name even be important? Okay, and on top of that, he said remember the name. If something is worth remembering, then it's worth giving praise to. All right, if somebody be like, hey, you remember I let you do this, nah, I don't really remember that. But if somebody stabs you with a knife or something, just to you will remember something like that. Like, I ain't messing with that dude. He kind of on the other side, And that's the Lord's name is worthy of praise, and it's worth remembering, man.
You gotta think. It says, remember that name in the night. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, I've kept thy precepts.
Yeah, therefore, have I kept thy precepts, because he remembered that name. Okay, and you keep the precepts and the law because the Lord allow you to, because He can take that spirit off of you and let you run around like Saul, man. All right.
It says, this I had because I kept thy precepts. Thou art my portion, O Lord. I have said that I will keep thy words. I entreated thy favor with my whole heart. Be merciful unto me according to thy word. I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments. The bands of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forgotten thy law. At midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgments.
Yeah, and the Lord's judgments, all his judgments is righteous, okay? And they're just, okay? And that's what's going to happen to you scoffers and mockers out there, man. Because it happened then. You had the guys who rose up trying to fight against the Roman Empire. They got knocked off. They was zealous, man, too zealous. You got people who Paul and them was getting into it with because they was going against the word. And you had the scribes and the Pharisees, man, who thought they was doing the right thing, but was proven they was doing the wrong thing. And you niggas ain't nothing but the scribes and Pharisees right back. All right, talking about you avenging Yahweh Shai, man. No, you're not. You ain't got the power to do that, man. He's avenging us. You know what I'm saying? He's our Redeemer.
It says verse 63, last verse says, I am a companion of all them that fear thee, and of them that keep thy precepts.
Yep, the brotherhood, man. Okay? You ain't supposed to be around niggas who don't believe in it, who just don't care, Don't think America gonna be destroyed, talking about a 10-year plan, 15-year plan. You know what I'm saying? Be not unequally yoked, man. You got that?
20.
Okay.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 2, verse 8. And before they were laid down, she came up upon the roof. And she said unto the men, I know that the Lord hath given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us.
Yep.
And that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did unto the two kings of the Amorites that were on the other side Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom ye utterly destroyed.
And they did all that by the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Now notice she said, we have heard, you know what I'm saying, of that terror, you know, that y'all bringing upon our land, our people, because that's what Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is today. He's our comfort. He's our protection, okay? When we was, the reason why, when they was fighting some Hamites, okay, and the Lord brought down big old hailstones and you know, killed them. You know what I'm saying? He put a spirit on them to kill each other. You know what I'm saying? He's always there, but you have to call on that name. It tells you that in Kings, I think it's 2 Kings, the 8th chapter, man. Okay? That when you feeling this way or that way, you face to the east and you pray to the Most High, man. Okay? And you have to use his name. That's how you get someone's attention. You got to use their name, all right? It's crazy because through the Spirit, I was watching John Wick the other day. And when they took his car, all you know is about is a name. Like, do you know who car that is? And then the dude was like, you know, the head boss dude, like, I heard, you know, you heard you punch my son in the mouth. He's like, yeah, because you know who car he stole. And he said John Wick. Like, that name has a reputation. This is a guy you do not want to mess with, okay? So your name holds your reputation, man. And that's why Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that name holds a reputation, all right? That's our power and our redeemer. And you got niggas out here that's acting like you don't need that, man. Who you gonna call on then, man? If you don't got the Hebrew or you don't got the name Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, who's you gonna call on, man? Who you supposed to call on? All right, in the time of need, in the time of trouble, when you need help.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 9, verse 9. It says, the Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble.
In times of trouble, he's that refuge, man. Okay? Can you look that word up? Yeah, how you got it?
Yeah.
Because y'all basically saying y'all gonna save yourselves. That's why you got Yohanan talking about building Israel here. You got Nate and them talking about you don't need faith. Like that's what this whole thing is about. You claim you are Israelite based off faith. How are you not faith based, man? All right.
The Hebrew word for refuge is masagah, which is high place, refuge, secure height, retreat, stronghold, refuge of the Most High.
Can you get that in Proverbs 18 and 10 or 10 and 18? Let me see the definitions. What did it say? It said a high place, a refuge, secure height. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see them older movies and they in the castles, they sitting at a height on the stone wall with arrows. All right?
I have it.
Oh, okay, kind. That'll work.
Proverbs 10 and 18. He that hideth hatred with lying lips.
18 and 10.
Proverbs 18 and 10 says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower.
The name of the Lord is a strong tower, man. Okay? A strong tower. I mean, a strong tower is something that of a defense. All right? You know what I'm saying? Just like with the 3 little pigs, you know what I'm saying? They had the straw, and they had the straw, and then the wood, and then they had that brick, man. He couldn't blow that house down, man. That's what the name of the Lord is to us, man. And that's why we call upon that name. all the men of the Lord called upon that name. They taught in that name. And then the heathen feared that name, man. Is it more to that?
Yeah, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it,
The righteous,
and is safe.
And it's safe. The righteous runneth into it and it's safe. So y'all, this and all in the name is just basically saying y'all part of the wicked, man. Okay? Y'all, and at the end of the day, y'all don't believe in the scriptures. All right? Y'all proving that y'all don't believe in the scriptures because it just said clearly that the name of the Lord is a tower of defense, man. All right, and the righteous run to it. All right, meaning when you in need of help, you're gonna call on that name.
There's a little bit more to that Psalms.
Huh.
This is Psalms 9 and verse 10. I read 9 again. It says, "The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. For thou, Lord, hast not forsaken them that seek thee."
Yet, for thou, Lord, has not forsaken them that seek thee. Okay, so there you go, right back with the righteous. All right, so it's about the righteous. So, like I said, y'all proving that y'all not of that fold or don't even want to be of that fold, man. So what are you here for? You are here to scoff and mock and be destroyed, man. Okay? As the scriptures say.
This is back in Joshua chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, "And as soon as we heard these things, our hearts did melt."
Our hearts did melt to hear about a power drying up the Red Sea. All right? Them taking down great kings. Okay? And I'm pretty sure they heard about the plagues of Egypt, man. All right? And the downfall of that kingdom. Because this is after they came out of Egypt. All right? And she said they hearts did melt, man.
"Neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you.
Mm-hmm.
For the Lord your..."
Why, though? Is it because they was Israelites? No, it's the power that they had, man. The power that they had covering them, watching over them, okay? Protecting them.
"For the Lord your power, he is the most high in heaven above and in earth beneath."
She just said it right there, you know? She just gave reverence, acknowledgement to who it was, man. Of course, they are men, but that power that they have, man, backing them, you know? Go down to 14.
Verse 12, it says, "Now therefore I pray you, swear unto me by the Most High, since I have shewed thee kindness, that ye will also shew kindness unto my father's house, and give me a true token, and that ye will save alive my father and my mother and my brethren and my sisters and all that they had, and deliver our lives from death." And the men answer her, our life for yours. If ye utter not this our business, and it shall be, when the Lord have given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with thee.
Because she knew why they was there. Because these are the two spies that Joshua sent out. Okay, so she knew why they was there, and when she like, "Hey man, I'm not gonna snitch on y'all, and hey, I know who got y'all back. I done heard about y'all. Just when y'all come here, have mercy on me and mines, man." Okay, because she know that power backing them ain't playing no games, man. And that same power is here today. You know what I'm saying? He ain't showed his full power either. Like, you know, he's showing it through us getting our remembrance of the scriptures, man. Us being able to break down precept through the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right, us getting that name back. Okay, you know, I'm pretty sure both of these brothers can attest on calling on that name and praying to that name and that prayer coming to, you know what I'm saying, being answered, man. All right, as well as I can. You know, and I, you know, this is when I first found out. It was over a silly football game, man. But I sent up a prayer and it manifests right in front of me. All right. But y'all act like the Most High is y'all homie or something. Somebody you can just play with. You can't joke with the Most High, man. You talking about the dude who can snap his fingers to get us out of here, but he wants his name to be magnified, man.
Yeah, it says like an arrow that is shot, who can turn it back, you know? So, you know, he at the snap of a finger, but his word is existing, so his word don't come back to him void. You know, and no man can change it. You know, no matter what happens, if the Most High choosing Israel, the nations know. You know what I'm saying? And it always dealt with when it's mainly us coming out of Egypt. It's synonymous with these times because people don't want to magnify the name of the Lord. You know, the Most High brought us out of Egypt to magnify Himself, to show not only us but to show the world. You know, put terror upon them. You know that. He said it in Romans where it said he because you get that when he said he raised up Pharaoh to show his power, you know.
Romans 9:22. What if the Most High, willing to show His wrath and to make His power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? Oh, Slack, I gotta go up a little bit. Moses. Okay, yeah. This is Romans 9:16. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that showeth mercy.
Yeah, that shows you that we're not in control, you know. And anytime that the brother was talking about, was it in Psalms, when we got that in Psalms one time, and it talks about how the nations knew that when we went against the Most High, that we was vulnerable, because the Most High is our protection. You know exactly what chapter that is?
I don't.
Let's see. I'm gonna try to find it after I finish this, but you know the scriptures go into it, showing you, you know what I'm saying, that the Most High is our tower and is our defense, and the other nations know when we're not under that defense that we're very vulnerable. Okay, which show you the majesty of the Lord. You know, even in other nations, what is He known to other nations? Al-Shaja, which means terrible power. You know. You go ahead, brother.
It says, Romans 9:17, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
Throughout all the earth. You know, not only dealing with us, but it's throughout all the earth. The Most High raised up Pharaoh and then wiped them out to show you, like, yo, look at my power. You know what I'm saying? And He's doing that throughout all the earth. Basically, when the Most High when He delivered us out of Egypt, it showed the world that He's a great power. And then in this time, it's the same thing. He let America rise up. So when He tears it down, and He's gonna come in spectacular fashion, the whole world is gonna know that the Most High is the power. They're gonna be back in remembrance, actually. You know, which reminds me of this clip from the movie. What is that? The Suicide Squad, when they had the witch. You know what I'm saying? And they had the other dude. The other witch they set free. But that's not the point. The point is when the witch set free her brother, she said, you know, what's going on? They don't know us. You know what I'm saying? They used to fear us. You know what I'm saying? They used to see us as gods. Basically, when they seen the magnitude of them two's power, they was in fear and they worshipped them as gods. You know what I'm saying? But over time that they forgot about them, they just seen them as, you know, regular entities that they can fight. You know, not saying the Most High is anything of a witch or anything, but the point I'm alluding to is that the majesty of the Most High was in Egypt. When He destroyed Egypt, the world seen Him, his might, and they feared Him. But over time, because judgment wasn't executed speedily, therefore fully set in the heart sons of men to do evil and to even question the Most High. Mm-hmm. So now that's what time we're in now. They haven't seen Him show out and do His thing, but the Most High just building it up, man. You know, and then when He wipes out America, Babylon, then He's going to show His might. All the nations are going to be like, you know, what power is this? That one day and one hour basically took down Babylon, man. It's gonna be unbelievable, man. And then he's coming in chariots. He's gonna use war. He's gonna have Israelites, you know, parlaying with spiritual powers.
Yep.
You know, you're gonna have animals, and they're gonna know that it's of the Most High, that all this destruction and judgment is coming to pass. You know, it's just as it says in Second Ezra. You know, but hey, Esau gonna still fight. Even the wicked still gonna be wicked, man. You know, they're gonna see the might of the Lord, but they still, you know, most High gonna put that heart on them to be hard headed and still be wicked. You know. You go ahead, brother. That's all I had so far.
Yeah, that was into that part, that point, at least. Kind of. All right, next one, Jonah 5. I was gonna read it all. Let's I might just read it all. But I ain't gonna hit every point. Yeah, you go 5. Jonah 1, 5.
It's the book of Jonah, chapter 1 and verse 5. It says, Then the mariners were afraid and cried every man unto his God, and cast forth the wares that were in the ship into the sea to lighten.
Yeah, so the mariners, they was scared, because this is the story, of course, of Jonah when he was on the ship and that storm and tempest came, man, and it said every man prayed to his God. You know what I'm saying? So if you was of this nation or that nation, you pray to your God, like, hey, please, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? You know, just because you had other gods, you had other people worshiping other gods back then, man, as you do today. You got us worshiping Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You got majority of our people worshiping Caesar Borgia. Shit, now they even worship men more than ever, you know? You know what I'm saying? And you got Allah out there. You got whoever, man. All them other, you know, bullshit guys, man. It's only one power, all right? But it's showing you that this has happened before. But the magnitude of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to be shown again, man.
It said, Then the mariners were...
And Salakia, I like the point that the brother had brought out. He said that basically the Lord, he wasn't showing it, so he basically got quiet. You know what I'm saying? So people was like, okay, well, we cool to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's how people feel. You know, and that's why a lot of people can't grasp the power of these prophecies. You know, we read Deuteronomy 28 and they just think, you know, it's a coincidence, man. But the Lord is actually going to manifest these things. That's why you go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. Dang, I can't believe he was amongst, you know, the righteous, you know, roughly paraphrasing, man. All right?
Yeah, and I got the story. It's a lengthy read, but I can read it real quick, and it's a good read, valuable point that I wanted to bring out. Let's see here. It's in Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 30, but it's in 30 through 45.
You want me to read it and you get it?
I can read it. Verse 30, Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 30 says, The Lord, your power, which goeth before you, he shall fight for you, according to all that he did for you in Egypt before your eyes. And in the wilderness, where thou hast seen how that the Lord thy power bare thee, as a man doeth bear his son, in all the way that ye went until ye came into this place. And this is a valuable point. This is setting the tone, okay? Yet in this thing ye did not believe the Lord your power, who went in the way before you to search you out a place to pitch your tents in, and fire by night to show you by what way you should go, and in the cloud by day, because Yahweh Shai was leading us out, leading us through the wilderness. Matter of fact, you can get it, because I'm just break it down so we can just go by a little bit smoother. 34. Yeah.
It says, and the Lord heard the voice of your words and was wroth and sware, saying, Surely there shall not one of these men of this evil generation see the good land.
So basically, the Lord doing all these magnificent things for Israel, and they was talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Same thing in this time, man. The Most High done got us out of Egypt. He didn't carry us through this slavery when the so-called white man had the power to wipe us out. You know what I'm saying? And they questioned the Most High's existence now. So the same thing is carrying over into these times. That's why the Passover is so significant, because it represents these times also, man.
Yep. He says, which I swear to give unto your fathers.
And guess what? You know what I'm saying? What's the main, most important thing about the Passover? It's the lamb, man. You know what I'm saying? If you got the blood of the lamb over your house, and guess what is our house? Our bodies. You know what I'm saying? So we got Yahweh Shai, then that destruction is going to pass us over. You know what I'm saying? Which we will receive salvation. So in order to appease the Most High, we have to have Yahweh Shai's blood on us. And you have to acknowledge the name. You have to acknowledge that he exists. Okay, that he's not just a prophet or any other BS. You know?
I'm gonna just
you go add on to it, whatever you got, brother.
It's all spiritual now.
Yeah,
and that's what they can't grasp.
It's not a physical lamb like Yohanan and them getting, scripture rehearsal righteous acts, but they trying to have Israel in America, man. They trying to have New Jerusalem in America, and that's wicked as hell, man. You know, you're supposed to be ready to get out here at any cost, any opportunity, okay?
And it even tells you in the Apocrypha up in Second Ezra's, man, that good can't come unless that evil be evil be destroyed, man. Mm-hmm. And this is that place that it was sown in. Mm-hmm. So how you supposed to have a righteous Passover, so to speak? You know, how you would want to have it in this wicked ass place, man. We don't
really just being in the spirit of wanting to be here. You know what I'm saying? You know, they trying to have it how, like it was back in the day, and really be in the merry spirit. But it wasn't even like that back in the day. But they trying to be in the merry spirit. They're so happy that they're keeping it the old school way. You can tell, man, that pride was gleaming off their face. And we got lambs and all. Like, man, you want this Passover commemorates getting the hell up out of here, man. You know, it's a solemn assembly. Okay, you got something?
Yeah, I'm gonna just get it right. This one verse. 1 Corinthians 2:14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
Yeah, the faith-based Israelites are the ones that are not spiritually discerned. The niggas that think that if you do the Passover like that, you got a problem with paying tithes to the apostles and things like that. Those are the ones that are spiritually discerned, man. You know what I'm saying? Because a natural man can't receive the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? You can't even think kingdom-minded. You can't even think about New Jerusalem. You know, a lot of things you'll be able to sacrifice if you're at least kingdom-minded, prophecy-wise. You'll be like, yo, man, shit, America's going to be destroyed. You know why? Why do I need to further my education? You know, why not just be content for the day? Basically, what's going on is that they worship the creature more than the creator. You know what I'm saying? They don't respect the Most High. You know?
All right, back in Deuteronomy 1:36. We go to 35. It says, surely there shall not one of these men of this evil generation see that good land which I swear to give unto your fathers.
And in these times, it's 2/3 of Israel, man. Okay? They shall not see that good land. They shall not get beamed up a twinkle of an eye and then be sat down in the land and be the first fruits of New Jerusalem. They shall not be that, man. They shall come through the loins of the elect and 144,000. Okay?
Save Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, he shall see it, and to him will I give the land that he had trodden upon, and to his children, because he hath wholly followed the Most High. And also the Most High was angry with me for your sake, saying, thou also shalt not go in thither.
And that person that he was angry with was Moses. Okay, yep. Moses speaking in third person, he was angry with me, and thou shalt not go in thither. Okay, go ahead.
But Joshua the son of Nun, which standeth before thee, he shall go in thither, encouraging him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit it.
So of that evil generation, he said that they should not see the good land. Only 2 people was Joshua and Caleb. Okay, it doesn't mean that only 2 people enter into New Jerusalem. No, it's talking about that generation. Okay.
I was gonna say, and that's even spiritual in itself, because Joshua in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai.
Mm-hmm.
It says, verse 39. Moreover, your little ones, which ye said should be a prey, and your children, which in that day had no knowledge between good and evil, they shall go in thither. And unto them will I give it, and they shall possess it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's basically talking about the younger people. Okay. That and the Most High always reiterates that. You go into Second Ezra when he casts us off, and he said he's dealing with a new cluster that have not called by his name. And the Most High did it through the Spirit in Egypt. He did that new generation that had no knowledge of good and evil. They didn't have that connection with the Most High. It was fresh. Okay, there was a fresh batch of Israelites, man. Okay, go ahead, and that's how it is in these times. We're the elect and 144,000 is a fresh batch, man. We're the ones that we didn't grow up. Certain people grew up into it, but we didn't grow up knowing we were Israelites. You know what I'm saying? We were grafted back in. Okay.
We pretty much grew up not knowing good and evil for the most, not according to the scriptures in the whole.
Yeah.
All right. Verse 40. But as for you, turn ye and take your journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. Then ye answered and said unto me, we have sinned against the Most High. We will go up and fight according to all that the Most High our power commanded us.
Now this is the point I want. It's a very important point. Okay, because Israel have sinned against the Most High, but then they say, you know what, we about to go up and fight. You know what I'm saying? They was actually going to go to war. Okay, go ahead.
And when ye had girded on every man his weapon of war, ye were ready to go up into the hill. And the Most High said unto me, say unto them, go not up, neither fight, for I am not among you, lest ye be smitten before your enemies.
That show you if the Most High ain't dealing with you in the nation, because this is talking about when they went to war and the Most High wasn't dealing with them and they got their ass beat, man. Okay, go ahead.
So I spake unto you, and ye would not hear, but rebelled against the commandment of the Most High, and went presumptuously up into the hill. And the Amorites...
And basically that's what in this time, people just want to serve the Lord how they want to serve the Lord. The Lord said, wait ye upon me.
Yep.
And the nations know if you're not doing it how you're supposed to do it, then I can do what I want with them. You know what I'm saying? If Esau gets you to not speak in the name, if he gets you to do anything to deviate from the true gospel, you know what I'm saying, then he got you. You're not protected anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Esau know he can get away fucking you up. That's why he gets people to be on pork and all kind of other wicked things. If he break down your spirit, he break down your connection, man. And the main thing is the name.
Yep.
That's why these niggas are so adamant to not teaching the name or not respect Yahweh Shai, and then it goes to the congregation. They don't want you to respect the congregation or the basically through the laws. They don't want you to pay tithes. They don't want you to be men pleasers or have order. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. You go ahead, brother Babakasha.
Verse 44. And the Amorites which dwelt in the mountain came out against you and chased you as bees do, and destroyed you in Seir, even unto Hermah. And ye returned and wept before the Most High, but the Most High would not hearken to your voice, nor give ear unto you.
Yeah, so that shows what happens when you break away by not keeping the commandments of the Lord, is that he will not protect you. He will not be that tower. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's important to call upon the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, so the Most High can be our tower, man. Really, Yahweh Shai is our tower, because the Most High ain't dealing with us unless we go through Yahweh Shai, man. So basically, what they're teaching, you can on a basic level, they're teaching you can be whoever you want to be. Don't believe in the Bible. You can dictate your own life and do what you want to do. And then a level bit above that, they may go to church and tell you, you can love anybody you want to love, as long as you call upon the name of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? They take the concept of the name of the Lord, but they had a zeal but not according to knowledge, or some of them just plain pure deep wicked. Then you got people that's in the know that is, that know the name but don't want to get into the Hebrew and don't want to teach people the name, don't want the people to keep the commandments. Like a commandment, worshiping the creature, word of the creator, is the rape doctrine, or the doctrine of slaves, the doctrine of order. They don't want to deal with that, man. So they create their own doctrine. They get mad because they say we make a doctrine out of the name. Which is true. We teach, that you got to call upon the name of the Lord. You must know the name of the Lord, man. What if you don't know it? The Lord gonna give it to you, man. You can't just call the Lord anything. Okay? Now that's it. That's it to that.
Okay, God. This is back in Jonah, chapter 1, verse 5. It says, "Then the mariners were afraid and cried every man unto his God, and cast forth the wares that were in the ship into the sea to lighten it of them. But Jonah was going down unto the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep. So the shipmaster came to him and said unto him, What meanest thou, O sleeper? Arise, call upon thy power, if so be that the Most High will think upon us, that we perish not."
Yeah, so right then, he sat there, he like, hey, we didn't call on our power. You guys call on yours and see what's going on. Like, why you sleeping? We ain't trying to die right now. But we need to figure out, who's causing trouble to this ship, basically.
And they said, every one to his fellow, Come and let us cast lots, that we may know for whose cause this evil is upon us. So they cast lots, and the lot fell upon Jonah. Then said they unto him, Tell us, we pray thee, for whose cause this evil is upon us.
Yeah, what is whose cause? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is doing this? If you the reason why this is happening, who trying to get you that they messing with us because we on this ship with you? Go ahead.
What is thine occupation? And whence comest thou? What is thy country? Yeah. And of what people art thou?
Yeah, go ahead. They intrigued, bro. Cause they like, man, this is obviously something like we ain't been through. They probably had some storms here and there out on the ship, but they had to cast lots. They all done called on their gods, and they like, man, something else is going on.
And mind you, this is all derives from a lot of great things, but mainly the story of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Because when they came out of Egypt, they had all these surrounding countries like, yo, man, whoever power that fucked Egypt up, them dudes, the nation of that, the God of that nation is coming. And like he brought it out, Rahab. How you think Rahab knew to be like, yo, don't fuck me up? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they heard the stories about how they just was whooping ass in the name of this power, and how how this happened and that happened. It ain't just happened and it was just an isolated event. The world was hearing about it, man. You probably had a bunch of goat herders or whatever, just in theory, sitting there around the Red Sea and seen that shit. Was like, what the fuck? And then shot back to them like, yo, you know what I'm saying? And basically spread the word. How you think those what nation that was the two it was a Hamite nation when the two Hamites came up to Moses, I believe Moses and Aaron, and they said, we're not Hamites, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, yo, just like basically don't kill us. Promises you won't fuck us up. Yeah. Mind you, the Most High had wanted us to fuck up all, I believe it's the Philistines. He wants to fuck them all up. That was the goal. That's why you had Philistines in our land for a very long time. That's why we was fighting with them. But long story short, they basically heard of us and seen what we was doing to the other nations, and the fear of the Most High fell upon them. So they came to Moses and was like, yo, grant us enmity. You know what I'm saying? Enmity. Not that word. It's another word, but basically, vow to give us peace. You won't fuck us up. And they tricked Moses. And eventually Moses found out, like, damn, man, the Most High told me to fuck up all these Philistines, but they did that through the fear and the name. They heard about the terrors they heard about Jericho. They was like, oh shit, I could be wrong about the last situation as far as the chronological order, but they basically heard about the actions and how Israel's passing through in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. and they came up like, yo, like, don't fuck us up. You know, the fear of the Most High's majesty became known among the other nations, man, and they feared him as a power. Hell, Moses' father-in-law, he knew that the Most High's power was true. You know, when he told him how to do the order, man. It's like, you know, basically he came, he's like, you're doing too much, blah, 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 your power, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? This is what you do. Okay? You had something you wanted to get?
No, I was just looking for that, because I remember they ended up having to put him in slavery because they promised not to kill him and stuff.
Yep,
you know yep. Like that. Hey, man, but y'all, this is like the brother said earlier, man, y'all, what it is the Lord got quiet, man, so y'all don't believe he'll do nothing to you, man. All right, that's exactly what it is. So when he see, y'all think Eddie Long just died or some, you know, anybody that's been dying, y'all just think they've been dying just because of quote-unquote natural causes, so to speak. No, the Lord is taking them, man. He's allowing that natural cause to happen, so to speak, but he is like, okay, man, it's time for you to come up here. It's time. And it's going to continue to happen. Look at all these fucking celebrities dropping, you know?
Yeah, it's going to come to, and they're still not going to recognize it. It's going to, the Most High is going to keep increasing. Yeah. It's the same thing with, you know, with Pharaoh. You know, I'm going to keep on reminding of Egypt because Pharaoh was seeing shit like, God damn. You know, there's something going on. Then he'll kind of break down, but then the Most High did what? He hardened his heart. Like, man, fuck that. It came to the point, he was like, he acknowledged it was the Most High, but he thought he was stronger than the Most High. You know? Cause
he had, what did he have? He had that, he had his outlet, so to speak. You know, his outlet was his, Jameson Jambres doing what Moses was doing through the left-hand side, basically. But when the Lord said, I'm taking every firstborn of the land, that was something they couldn't do, man.
Yeah.
Okay? After everything the Lord did, man.
And that shows that Esau has his left hand power and the Most High has the right hand. But what happened when Janus and Jambres went against Moses and they turned his staff to snakes, the other snake ate the other one. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Showing that, you know, his power is stronger than their power, man. You know, they both turned them into snakes, so it's a form. It's like the left hand side did have the same type of power that the Most High had to an extent. You know, but what happened? That snake, you know, Moses' snake fucked the other snake up, showing that, you know, the Most High's power is stronger. Just like on the right hand side, we supposed to be able to fly and do things like that. Well, hell, Esau could do it on the left hand side with airplanes, but it's just not efficient. You know, the Most High said, you know, who can go back in time? You know what I'm saying? And bring that day back. You know, the Most High could, but Esau can too. Through the same devices we use called, you know, video cameras, man. Yep. But it's not the same thing. You know, but it's the same power. It's just not as strong, man. The Most High could bring that whole situation back to you, you know, vividly. You know what I'm saying? And there's many other things, you know. That's why Esau is, he's striving to be like the Most High, man.
First Thessalonians.
You know, he's striving. He's trying to control life and death. Ultimately, you know, what grows, what doesn't grow, what lives and what dies, man. If you can control the people, then basically, you know, he feel like he got control. He feel like he is the Most High. Yeah. You know.
I got a precept. This is Psalms 83 and verse 13. Reads down a few verses. It says, "O my power, make them like a will, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame sets the mountains on fire, so persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm."
Yep, yeah, make them afraid with thy storm. Hey, just like, you know, all of the different tornadoes and hurricanes and situations that go about, you know what I'm saying? But people think that it's Mother Nature, you know what I'm saying? That is why when he started manifesting these things, all right, on a scale where it can't be Mother Nature. You're gonna realize, like the brother said, he's gonna keep increasing, man, to where you just gotta acknowledge to the Most High. Like this is definitely a higher power doing this, man.
It says, verse 16, "Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Most High. Let them be confounded and troubled forever." Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth.
That he's that dude, basically, man. Nobody's beside him, you know what I'm saying, in the sense of can tell him what to do, man. All right? He make all the decisions, and he just got servants that go about and do it. We're servants, the angel servants. Yahushua is a servant, Satan's a servant, the demons, so to speak, is the angels on the left hand. Everybody's servants under him, man. Okay? Kind. Because I was thinking, like the chariots, man. Here you have Esau jets that try to catch the chariots, but they just can't. And if they, I remember hearing stories about them getting close, and then they just disappear into the other dimension. Esau can't do that, man. He can fly, but he can't go into the next dimension.
And to add on to another example of the majesty of the Lord is the time of Daniel, man, when he was having them dreams. He kept on. They had a bunch of magistrates. If you notice, they had magistrates in a lot of countries, but they had a magistrate of Most High. They always acknowledged the power. They might have their own gods, but the name of the Most High was a renowned power. You know what I'm saying? They, like I said, they may have whatever god they had, Buddha or whatever, but they knew they had a priest of Buddha, they had a priest of Yasha, they had a priest of this nation, a priest of that nation. You know what I'm saying? And then the Most High always used to just be shitting on them, man.
For his power, man.
You see what happened with Joseph. You see what happened with Daniel, man. Their spiritual powers became coveted.
Yep. And I got one of the Daniels too.
This is back in the book of Jonah.
What verse is it?
Verse 8. This is Jonah chapter 1 verse 8. Then said they unto him, Tell us, we pray thee, for whose cause this evil is upon us? What is thine occupation, and whence comest thou? What is thy country, and of what people art thou? And he said unto them, I am in Hebrew, and I fear the Lord, the power of heaven.
Yeah, now of course he said Yahweh, man. You know what I'm saying? And of course they heard about that name, man. Okay? Because it ain't like now where you got, it ain't like now where the Lord took his name, man. Because the Lord had took our heritage our whole heritage was gone, man. All right, and we getting that back, and the name comes back with that, man. So when he told me, like, I'm a Hebrew, and I fear Yahweh.
This came already. Let's put that out there.
Yeah, yep.
Somebody Nate named say, oh yeah, that's somebody later in time. No, that's weird. Everything happens in progress. You know what I'm saying? Everything will be manifest. The end shall be manifest. That name, you can tell is, for a fact that's the Most High's name, man. Just the way it's being brought out, just the way it's being attacked. Nobody attacks the name Jesus. You know what I'm saying? No, even crackers call upon that name. You know what I'm saying? But only Israel be called upon the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. He said, only thy name shall be found in no place but Israel. In 2nd Ezra chapter 3 verse 36. Matter of fact, can you get that real quick just to get the precept?
3 and 36.
Yeah.
2nd Ezra 3 and 36. Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
Oh no, that's not it. It said you shall. I think it's up a little bit above that. You said that then thy name shall be found. That thy name is found in no place but Israel. Things like a couple verses above it, but
yeah. I got you. 34. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and there is also that dwell in the world.
So basically, Ezra was talking to the Most High, saying, compare us to these other nations. Go ahead.
And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel.
There you go. Only Israelites be called upon the name of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. That's it's in no place but Israel. Jesus is in the so-called white man's house. It's in the Arab's house. It's in the Moabites. It's in the Ammonites. You know, it's in the Hamites' house. They're over there in Africa right now. Call upon the name of Jesus, man. That thy name shall be found nowhere but in Israel. You know, the so-called black Hebrew Israelites are the only people that their doctrine, when they say the Lord looks like this is his name. That name only exists in Hebrew Israelite doctrine, so to speak. You know, that's the only. It's not in the Korean Jesus doctrine. They say Yeshua, Elohim, and all that, but nobody say Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, but Hebrew Israelites. Thou shalt find that the name shall be nowhere but in Israel, man. You know, Jesus is in there, so that ain't the name, man. Okay? The process of elimination, the only two names you can argue is Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, and they got that what the fucking is Yeshaya. Yahaya. You know what I'm saying? That's the only, you know, you don't hear that Yahaya shit in the other, but that's not the Most High's name. That's what the Most High told him to go do, okay, in third person. Because when he said, you know, basically when you break it down, he says, go tell him, this is my name, and he said it. He said Yahweh, you know what I'm saying?
And everywhere else it say Yahweh in the scriptures, man. You know, like, what do you mean? In the Hebrew right here, when he said, I'm a Hebrew and I'm, you know, fear Yahweh, basically, it says Yahweh. You know? Go ahead.
I had a quick precept. Psalm 72 and 17, it says, his name shall endure forever. His name shall be continued as long as the sun, which was in the beginning.
The sun's never going to be destroyed. And it was at the beginning, man.
Yeah.
Okay, that name, they had that name before the scriptures was written. It was oral, man. The commandments was out before they was written. And then it got written, and then it still didn't work. So now it's about faith, man. That's how you get salvation. And then it's going to be written in our DNA, so to speak, man.
Inward parts, it's going to be in our spirit. You know, there's things, you know, we're creatures of habit. You know what I'm saying? But there's things that you know how you naturally eat, you naturally want to do things. You know, that's going to be in our DNA or in our body to keep the commandments. You know what I'm saying? Just like it's in your body to take care of your child or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that you physically need to do, but it's in your spirit to naturally do it. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you know, even animals, they don't just have kids and just leave. You know, they're protective of them. You know, they have that because it's built in them to do that. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing physical that you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Morally, you will want to do it, of course, but there's no physical requirement. Like I said, eating. If you don't eat, you can die. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's a physical requirement. But to take care of your child, like, it ain't nothing going to happen to you physically. You just keep having kids and just say, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? The animals could do the same, but they are naturally mothers and fathers, you know, and doing things like that. And that's how the laws are going to be with us, man. It's going to be just like that natural instinct of keeping Shabbat, not keeping the dietary laws, keeping laws of the land. It's going to be out in our DNA. Ain't going to be no struggle or no fight and balance Satan, you know, like Paul said, that would I not, that would I do. You know what I'm saying? Ain't going to be all that. Okay?
I want to grab it right quick. It says Romans 8 and 20.
Mm-hmm.
For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who had subjected the same in hope.
Yeah, so we are those creatures and subject unto vanity. It's emptiness. It's pointlessness. You know what I'm saying? We're basically going to be doing some dumb shit. We're subject unto it. We're under the rule of it. You know? The sub means under, eject means rule. You know, we're under the rule of vanity, man. So when them laws are written out in parts, we're not going to be creatures subject under vanity. That's why he said he gave basically in Second Ezra's, he said he gave Adam a heart basically to go off, man. You know what I'm saying? So basically at the end of this, we can learn the knowledge of good and evil, you know. But eventually he's going to bring us how he originally intended Adam to be, you know. Just keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, man.
Back in the book of Jonah,
And if I could say something, and that is why the kingdom of heaven, New Jerusalem, is gonna flourish forever, because it says of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit, one kingdom is transferred from another. So us keeping the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai, we're not gonna do none of that. Meaning there's no reason for our kingdom to fall, man. It's, you know.
Yeah, it was that that's like that Proverbs 29, I believe. When the righteous are authority.
Yep. Righteous, kind of. And people gonna be happy, man. You know, had a little, ducats and land and families, ain't gotta worry about eating BS and all of that, man.
There's Jonah 1:9. It says, and he said unto them, I am in Hebrew, and I fear the Lord, the power of heaven, which hath made the sea and the dry land. Then were the men exceedingly afraid, and said unto him, why hast thou done this? For the men knew that he fled from the presence of the Lord, because he told them. So he had to know. He had to say that name. Man.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Exactly, bro.
Like, man, he tripping.
It's just like that movie John Wick, man. You hear that name, like, oh damn.
You fucking that's that. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, you bucking up against him.
Yeah.
I heard people fuck with him, some shit happened, basically.
You know? Yeah. Go ahead. You got a precept?
This is
He said, "Oh shit." Go ahead.
This is Psalms 99 and verse 3. It says, "Let them praise thy great and terrible name, for it is holy." His great and terrible name.
Great and terrible, because the works that he do, man, But and like you like the brother was saying earlier, man. You got Esau who does things on the left hand side, but the Lord is giving him that ability to do so. Let alone going back to the source, man. All right. So you basically gonna get hit with that full Kamehameha, basically, man. That's what you're gonna get hit with. Go ahead, finish that, gentlemen.
Verse 10.
So we can go to 16.
This is Jonah 1:11. It says, "Then said they unto him, what shall we do unto thee, that the sea may be calm unto us? For the sea wrought and was tempestuous. And he said unto them, take me up and cast me forth into the sea."
So he already knew what he had to go through. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
"So shall the sea be calm unto you, for I know that for my sake this great tempest is upon you. Nevertheless, the men rowed hard to bring it to the land, but they could not."
They didn't want to throw him, bro. Like they like, man, nah, man, we ain't about to do that, man. You gonna die out here, because they gonna say it. Go ahead.
For the sea wrought and was tempest against them. Wherefore,
and the Lord put His Spirit on that, man. Like, no, y'all trying to just think y'all just gonna roll to the land? No, I'm gonna put a little extra wind with that. You know what I'm saying? Just like Noah wanted to open up the door, man, but it said the Lord's Spirit was on that, man. The Lord do what He want. Go ahead.
"Wherefore they cried unto the Lord and said, We beseech thee, O Most High, we beseech thee, let us not perish for this man's life, and lay not upon us innocent blood. For thou, O Yahweh, has done as it pleased thee."
They even said His name. That's that fear. They gave reverence to that name, man. All right, go ahead.
"So they took up Jonah and cast him forth into the sea, and the sea ceased from her raging."
Yeah, so that's 16.
No, that's 16 right here.
Okay, go ahead.
It says, then the men feared the Most High exceedingly, and offered a sacrifice unto the Most High, and made vows.
Right there, man. They feared, made a sacrifice, made vows, and made a sacrifice, man. All right, all off that name, that reputation, because they like, man, we had to throw him. Obviously, that was the only way to throw him on the boat, man. They're like, hey, they didn't want, like they said, they didn't want the innocent man's blood upon their hands, man, because they knew who they was dealing with, man. All right.
Yeah, see, that's what's wrong with these niggas today. They done forgot what they dealing with. In the Book of Psalms, it say, "How long shall His name be blasphemed?" You know what I'm saying? And Israel and Esau blaspheming the name of the Most High, man. I heard a nigga at my job say, no, he don't believe in the New Testament for whatever reason. I don't believe in the mediator, this and that, Yahuwah, Yahweh, all this and that. Like, man, the Most High gonna destroy them type of dudes, man. You know, straight up.
Yeah, and if they don't, what you said earlier, that they don't respect the Most High, they blaspheme. Hey, when you tell somebody to go against the scriptures, you blaspheme in the name of the Lord too, man. Like basically what Yakanan's doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you're denying Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying? You're telling people not to pay tithes, you're telling people not to keep order, you're telling people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're basically going against, because the Most High say pay tithe, you tell them, well, son, you're basically wicked for doing that. You know? You coming up under a whole different banner, you know? They say to them preaching another Jesus, man. Or another Yahweh Shai, basically.
Yep. Another savior. Yep. Pretty much. Okay, Bell and the Dragon, verse 40 through 42. Yeah, I owe him to read that whole story. Yeah. Verse 40 through 42. So this is Bell and the Dragon. You know, when he was like, they basically thought that they was making sacrifices and that that idol that they was worshiping was actually eating the sacrifice, but then through the power of Yahweh Shem Shai, Daniel was able to prove that it was people coming up in a secret door and actually eating that food and just acting like it was the idol eating it, okay? And then, go ahead, I'll let you just...
This is Bell and the Dragon, verse 40. It says, upon the seventh day, the king went to bewail Daniel, and when he came to the den, he looked in, and behold, Daniel was sitting.
Yeah, because what happened is after that, Daniel basically blew up the idol. All right, and then after he blew up the idol, the people of that country was ready to kill Daniel. All right, and they like, look, the king, they even said that the king became a Jew, and they was ready to kill Daniel. You know what I'm saying? So he, out of respect for them, the king out of respect for them, like he put him in a lion's den. All right, and he was in there for 6 days, and then this is when it said on the 7th day. Go ahead.
Then cried the king with a loud voice, saying, great art thou, O Yahweh, power of Daniel, and there is none other besides thee. Mm-hmm. And he drew him out and cast those that were the cause of his destruction into the den, and they were devoured in a moment before his face.
Yeah, and then so the lions ain't ate in 6 days, and you had Daniel in there chilling. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, it said that they fed them, I think twice a day. If you can find it, you can go up a little bit. But they didn't eat for 6 days. Daniel was there. As soon as he threw the ones that wanted to knock off Daniel, man, the lions ate him up, man. And that's why the king had to give Yahweh reverence, man. Okay? Like, that's why that's that tower, man. You got to trust in Yahweh Shem Shai, no matter how crazy things get. Because you don't know, he says he's not going to put you through nothing you can't handle, man. And there's going to always be a way out, you know? Like with Joseph got sold into slavery. You know what I'm saying? Here you, one of the children of Jacob, you know what I'm saying, of Israel, and you got sold into slavery. But the Most High had a plan, you know? You got put in jail, got accused of committing adultery, all of that. And then he was basically just waiting for his death.
It's verse 30, it says, Bell and the Dragon, verse 30. Now when the king saw that they pressed him sore, being constrained, he delivered Daniel unto them, who cast him into the lion's den, where he was 6 days. And in the den there were 7 lions, and they had given them every day 2 carcasses and 2 sheep, which then were not given to them to the intent that they might devour Daniel.
Yeah. So they was feeding them, you know. And then they sat there and didn't eat for 6 days, and Daniel just chilled in there for 6 days, man. That's having the angels encamped around about you, man. Trusting in Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, because now, hey, it says Satan go about as a roaring lion, man, seeking whom he may devour. All right, And Satan worked through these 2/3 niggas. He worked through these crackers. He working through your boss, your coworkers, and cops, and all of this, man. Everybody's against Yashala, man, because Satan is out there roaring as a devouring lion, man. Oh yeah, it's loud. Second Maccabees 3:33.
Oh, yeah.
This the last one.
This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 33.
I'm gonna let the brother read the story. Really, the point is in like the last few verses.
It says, now as the high priest was making an atonement, the same young men in the same clothing appeared and stood behind Heliodorus, saying, Give Onias the high priest great thanks, insomuch as for his sake the Lord had granted thee life.
Yeah, because what you had this guy who tried to sack the temple for one of the kings of during the Grecian Empire. All right, and then he got beat up, man, by some angels. Okay, beat to sleep, really. And they like, man, you got to bring this dude back to life, or there's gonna be some stuff that's gonna happen, man. So this is that point right here. And the angel's like, man, you lucky the Lord giving you your life back. Like, they're talking to this guy, man. Go ahead.
And seeing that thou hast been scourged from heaven, declared unto all men the mighty power of the Most High.
They told him to, hey, let them know that this is the power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All right? Go ahead.
And when they had spoken these words, they appeared no more. So Heliodorus, after he had offered sacrifice unto the Most High, and made great vows unto him that had saved his life, and saluted Onias, returned with his host to the king.
Yeah, so he made sacrifices and vows to the Most High, man. I'm pretty sure within there he said, Salaki, and I won't try to take anything out of this temple again, most likely. All right, go ahead.
Then testified he to all men the works of the great power which he had seen with his eyes. And when the king asked Heliodorus who might be a fit man to be sent yet once again to Jerusalem, he said, If thou hast any enemy or traitor, send him thither, and thou shalt receive him well scourged.
Well beat up. Go ahead.
If he escape with his life.
If he get away with his life, man.
He became a believer in that power, man. Hell, Antiochus himself.
Yeah.
He became a believer in the power through the plagues that the Most High put on him, that stomach disease, which could have been colon cancer or there's another one where basically your bowels seep through your pores. You know what I'm saying? It backs up and it has no way to escape, and your fecal matter comes through your pores, and you basically smell like shit, man. You know.
He was funky, man.
He was up a ways away and they could still smell it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, for in that place, no doubt, there is an especial power of the Most High.
Yeah, for in that place, no doubt there's a special, what is that?
There's a special power of the Most High.
Special power of the Most High. Go ahead.
For he that dwelleth in heaven hath his own eye on that place, and defendeth it, and he beateth and destroyeth them that come to hurt it.
Now, guess what? It's a people before it's a place, man. All right? So that same eye, that same power that is watching over that, is watching over us now, man. And that power has a name, which is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? Which Rahab gave reverence to, the Mariners gave reverence to, the king during Daniel's gave reverence to. All right? Heliodorus gave reverence to. All right? So you can't just say the name doesn't matter, man.
Hell, a perfect example was when we left, we got kicked out the land by the Babylonians, and Shalmaneser, I believe Shalmaneser Nebuchadnezzar put those Ethiopians in our land, and those fucking lions was tearing their ass up.
Yeah.
What did they do? They didn't call upon their power. They said, get the God of this land, get a priest of the God of this land to teach all the laws, statutes, and commandments. Because they knew the majesty of the Lord. And that's why to this day, people think Ethiopians are Israelites because they kept the law, statutes, and commandments, which is what happened with the woman at the well. She was a heathen, you know what I'm saying? And she thought she was an Israelite because she kept her ways, you know? And that all came from them, the other nations acknowledging the Most High. Hell, in real time, man, you got Hamites believing. You got them called. They don't call upon the right power, but they know they call upon the power of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? They may switched it around and made them look this way and that way, but they're calling on that power. They're calling on our power, man. They're not calling on Buddha or nothing like that. There's few far in between, you know. And the people that call upon those, they still acknowledge the Most High, man. You know, they know He exists. Like our nation really don't fuck all them guys. I'm like, man, what kind of guy is that? You know, that's a new, like, wow, I didn't know that existed. But them, they be all into Buddha, but like, oh, in modern day, you're a Christian. Oh, you basically you serve that guy. Every nation know who the Most High is, but as Israel, we go to another land, like, man, wow, what the fuck, God, y'all, this some, wow, y'all blowing cow booties, like that was y'all supposed to do, that. But then like, oh, well, who's your God? Oh, we pull out the Bible, they're like, oh, that one. Every nation know about it. But that's why I said none shall want to make. The Most High is the Lord of Lords, King of Kings.
The power of His own, man. Yeah, that's all the precepts that I had. Y'all had any more?
No, that's it for me. No.
Yep, I got one. This is the book of Psalms 135 and verse, I'm going to start from 4, the point is in 5. It says, "For the Lord hath chosen Jacob unto himself, and Israel for his peculiar treasure. For I know that the Lord is great, and that our Lord is above all gods. Whatsoever the Lord pleased, that did he in heaven and in earth, in the seas and in the deep places."
And those Salaki and those gods are not always talking about deities. They don't exist. You're playing about it. That's talking about rulers, man. You know what I'm saying? Kings, your Obamas, your Putins, and Dong Jong Kims, and that is talking about them, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's talking about angels and basically anything that exists, the Most High is above it, man. If you create a God, the Most High is above that, whatever you created, man. Like they got the God of rain. The Most High is above rain. You know what I'm saying? So He's the God of whatever you can create in your mind that if I call upon Him, it's going to make it rain. The Most High is like, I'm God of rain. I could stop it right now. I don't care who you say that causes the rain. I'm the one that's over all that, man.
Yeah. If that was the case, in Egypt, they wouldn't have had them 7 years of famine, man. And they could have called on they gods to bring them food,
Yep.
But the Lord wanted that to happen so He can bring forth His power again, man.
Or like Jonah, if their gods had power, they would have just said, Jonah, go back to sleep. I'm about to call my God. He gonna stop this storm. No, it was like, shit, man. Hey,
this shit ain't working.
You got the guy that trumps mine.
Ace of Spades, man.
Them nations may believed in their gods, but they knew that the Most High, Yahweh Shema Shai, was over their deities, even though they believed it to be real. Even though them deities wasn't real, the Most High always proved that, man. You know what I'm saying? And when with was it Bel and the Dragon when he kept on knocking the statue over?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was two of them. It was that one, and then it was with the when they was fighting when the Ark of the Covenant was next to the
yep, and you knocked it over, and the arms broke the arms off, and you know what I'm saying? And basically the Most High, no matter how. They tried to set it up next to it, like it was doing something, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is like a shrinery of gods, like, and then the Most High like, man, put me next to these bum ass motherfuckers, man. Start knocking them shit over and angels kicking them motherfuckers over, like the Most High, like, don't put me next to that bullshit, man, because he's above them, man. He's above anything you can imagine. Now, if your little world, you think that's the shit. You know what I'm saying? That's on you. But don't think that's equal to the Most High.
Yep.
Then that's what niggas do. They get that cross and do all that. You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers still be getting fucked up. When the Most High be like, watch this. That's why these niggas playing with the anointed of the Most High, the elect. You playing with them and using your God, which is either Esau with being an agent or money or whatever. The Most High gonna fuck you up, man. He gonna tear that shit up, man. You're gonna tear it apart, and you're gonna get to the point that you're gonna be like, okay, yeah, you got this. I can't do nothing about that one. You know, that snake gonna eat the other snake, man. You know.
You good?
Yeah, that was just that precept.
So with that, man, we at the end of this, and you're gonna have to call on that name if you believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know, if you don't believe, hey, by all means, go ahead, call on Jesus, call on whomever you want to call on, but it ain't gonna help you, man.
Hey, that's the spirit. I was thinking of that. He said, if those guys can save you, those stocks can save you, call upon them.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's how the Lord feel. The Lord don't need you, man. Y'all fail to realize that the Lord don't need you, man. You need Him.
That's a form of watch this.
Yeah.
Wow, watch this.
Yeah.
Call upon them.
Yeah. You know? So yeah, at the end of the day, man, call Allah, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessing to the elect, you know, and salutation to you, Akim, out there pushing and striving for salvation and trusting in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, as a true and one and only power, man. Shalom.
Shalom.